Episode 1, The New Normal.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Anyone listening?
Get him in the field.
No.
Spears up.
No! Not now! I just started the broadcast!
Throw.
Help! Ah! Help! I turned the radio on too soon!
You missed. Try.
Put the
again.
spears down!
Throw.
I'm not the person you want. I'm not your target.
He's getting away.
Oh no. This is bad. That's very far down. Well, here goes nothing. I hope you remember me as the best radio personality there's ever been. This is Parks Howitzer.
You radio bitch.
Oh no. Safety at last. Sorry about that earlier, folks, and for the long break before the broadcast started up again. I'm glad one of those spears didn't hit my equipment. Phew! I haven't had to hoof it that hard in my life, especially not in deerskin heeled dress shoes. I gave him the old razzle-dazzle and made it out mostly unscathed. Who am I kidding? There was no razzle-dazzling. I fell off a cliff. I'm sure you could hear that in the recording. I hit a rock and it broke some of my equipment. I spent the last couple hours repairing it, but we're live again. One moment. The racehorse that is my brain has begun running sideways. I honestly wasn't expecting to have such a rough and tumble experience this soon. Adjusting my posture and taking a deep breath in and out. All right, well, that aside. Hello there, folks and friends. Your local radio jockey, Parks Howitzer here. Well, former radio jockey of the FSA Copper Radio. The current date is June 1st, 2673. Following my last FSA broadcast, Mr. Baron Fourpennies of the FSA Copper Radio has seen fit to have me tossed and canned. Quite a tough break, and the firing itself was quite frankly violent. Immediately after being fired, I was hunted by the regimental forces of Colorado Springs, straight from the radio station itself. I was chased with spears and bombarded with a variety of other projectiles at the order of fourpennies, which does bring to mind, why does a radio station need so much security? But I digress. Looking on the sunny side, I've made it out in one piece. Still got my checkered suit, still got my pomade. I think I've done well in that sense. Thankfully, after my fall and running from attackers for what feels like a week straight, there are not many nicks to be seen. My legs and feet are quite sore, but I expect that will soon become the new normal for me. Very interesting and unique that the radio bigwig of Colorado would choose to give me the pink slip in such a violent manner. Perchance it's because he's aware I have information that Fourpennies and our Lord Chief don't want to be made public. Criminy, they must be worried at this point. Oh, and to the rest of my audience, I do apologize because whoever the FSA Copper Radio attempts to replace me with won't even be close to the genuine article. Though, I'll get back on track. I will admit, I had a bit of an outburst on air. I don't think there's a person in Colorado Springs who didn't hear the righteous confrontation between I and Four Pennies. I could have realistically handled it more eloquently, but alas, that is not what happened. So, about that. What really happened is as follows. I discovered a secret cache at the FSA copper radio that included outlawed heretical texts and music cylinders. I, founders forgive my transgressions, skimmed through them and found an official document addressed to Four Pennies that stated there was more information locked in the Lord Chief's office. So, trying to be as sneaky as I could, I searched and scrounged his office and uncovered even more information tucked away. Most of it was locked up. The locksmiths in Colorado Springs tend to have shoddy work. If you're listening right now and find yourself in the profession of being a locksmith, this excludes you. I'm sure your locks are of excellent quality. I'm sure you make great locks. Your locks are 10 out of 10, buddy. But now I've got a collection of records, both of tunes I personally boogie to, and some musical cylinders that I grabbed solely because they were under lock and key. Illegal music, folks. All of this, so much information we've had stolen from us, hidden from us, and warped beyond belief. I've spread propaganda for far too long working under Four Pennies. It's a sin I hope one day I can atone for. Ooh, speaking of sins, I also stole this radio equipment and a portable way to broadcast. With this stolen equipment, I've got a plan. As I stated in my last broadcast, our Lord Chief of the Southeastern Rockies, Bessemer Sueso, does not want us to leave his designated land of rule. He riddles us with stories of how scary those outside are, how dangerous a place it is, those who believe in the Jeffersonian heresy, spearing down alleged apostates with bayonets, the marauders who are said to tear those they find limb from limb, the cult of the rat, who are said to abduct any who get too close to their borders to gain more sacrifices for their eldritch rituals. But what he failed to mention is that underneath all the violence, these too are people. People that can be reasoned with, talked to. I'm iffy on the cultists of the rat. Even sympathetic texts said some messed up things about them. I'm not quite hopeful. But, thankfully, some of my books have guides on etiquette with these tribes and groups. Tribes and groups, etiquette, you get what I'm saying. Hopefully that information will keep me surviving long enough. I've never been a prolific reader prior, but there is no time like the present, especially when my life and future depend on it. I've always been one for radio dramas, as you might be able to assume, considering my profession of choice. What has happened to you, Parks? Oh, sorry. I forgot I was recording. When I don't have a script in front of my hands, things get a little bit jambled. What was I saying? Yes. Currently I'm holed up in a safe area. My exact location I won't say, as I'd like to avoid being hunted as much as possible. Don't want to have to roll off any more cliffs. All I'll say is that if you think this broadcast will lead you to me, you're dead wrong, Buster. That's directed to any of the pigs that think they can make a meal out of me. I was canned, but I'm no sardine. Little joke for those who like jokes. I am aware that this state of being on the run and this information I'm sharing will make me a target. I've got ways of fighting back, however small. I know how to cover my tracks, and I have things to bargain with. But my plan. I've heard that followers of the atomicist faith within the borders of Erixia have information on the nature of the Flash, what happened before and what came after. Also that it's a common safe haven for political refugees, which I unfortunately am now. Anyways, the books I did find locked away were all muddled in the realms of information, and many stories conflicted. My first checkpoint is southwards towards Pueblo, which is an area I know is still under the control of Sueso, but I'll try to skirt around it, which might mean going into the mountains, which might mean encountering some of those dreaded marauders. But that's a worry for another day. Hopefully I can find someone skilled in the realms of electrical working. I know bits and pieces, but if I want this broadcast to function long-term, I'll need to connect the Tesla coils that dot the roads. But most information on those skyscraping towers is held by the Nicolites. Though finding one of them may be tough, they tend to be quite secretive. we'll see when we get there. While I'm on the run, I must explain to you, my beloved listeners, that I believe in the spirit of people, of humanity. I want to share the stories of those who survived in this world. I plan on interviewing those who I can find out in the world. Everyone has a story worth sharing. Many people in this world are shackled, and information is the power that can bring us together and unlock the chains. Intrepid listeners, you know as well as I that there is a world beyond these walls. As I have been left with no other option, I intend to see this new world. You all will be the first to hear what it's like beyond the walls. We've been hidden away all these years. The Flash changed everything, changed the cultures, changed the landscapes. This isn't the America we read about in textbooks. This isn't the world that we've been told about in stories. There is a truth out there, a truth I intend to find. This plan is large and, quite frankly, a bit stressful, but one solace I do have is the aforementioned music I managed to keep, along with my own personal phonograph. I think it might be cute to play a song at the end of each broadcast, a way to keep spirits up. Tonight, I have a local artist from Colorado Springs. A record of their album Home Sitting was recovered amongst the wreckage of a collapsed music store. In fact, much of the music I own that isn't illegal happens to be from that collapsed store. I hope the previous owner had a truly lovely life. The song for tonight is called Molasses Tongue by the artist Bryce Taylor. It's a beautiful song about love and its triumphs. A song I planned to dance to at my wedding. But that's for another time, folks. I have been Parks Howitzer of the Afterworld Radio. That's a nice name. Let me redo that bit. Please, allow me, Parks Howitzer, to be your guide. This is the world after the end. Farewell, everyone. Enjoy the music, and stay safe.
Molasses tongue and the telephone to pillow when they say that I'll see you in the morning. And the time it would pass us both so slowly, waking up throughout the night. Pack it up and pack it in, I'll see you every day. The two of us can dream and recollect on the time and commend the mutual strength for spending so much time away. Hang me on a line, cut me down just in the nick of time for the two of us to marry. We can be the ones who are so sickly sweet. The same story tells two lives. And on the day, golden emerald ring makes its home right on top of your finger. The home that we have will just house the two of us and the little friends we bring along. In spite of all the ones who wished us both away, you held on when I held out my hand. So I don't mind giving up my time to waste with you.
Afterworld Radio by R.P. Williams is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 International License. You can find more on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Today's episode was written, directed, edited, and produced by R.P. Williams. It featured R.P. Williams as Parks Howitzer. Title art by Emily Holmquist. A link to more of their work can be found in the description. Rate and review us online. Visit our Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube at Afterworld Radio. Find our website at afterworldradiopod.wixsite.com/radio or email us via afterworldradiopod@gmail.com. Join the community on the Discord via the links in our social media bios as well as our website. Truly, thank you for listening.